Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rave Green TV. And this is going to be your preview for the Seattle Sounders against the LA Galaxy this weekend on Saturday, where the team that has 2 wins in 2 games against the team that has no wins in 2 games and no goals scored yet this season. Yes, it's the Sounders, but on the bright side, we did see them win 3-0 in leg 1 of the CCL. That game's not over yet, but the Sounders have put one big foot towards putting themselves into the semifinals of the CCL, which is the first time if they do make it through, it'll be the first time since 2013 we've done it. And so it's exciting. Like, there's a good feel-good factor going into this game this weekend. I'm joined with Atif, and we're going to be previewing this weekend's match. I mean, Atif, what are you looking forward to for the Galaxy game? As I said, Galaxy are 2 wins out of 2. They won their home opening game against the defending champions NYCFC in fairly convincing fashion. There were small hiccups in it, and then silencing a sold-out, record-breaking attendance in Charlotte. I mean, that game, they were all over Charlotte. 1-0 was kind of it made the result look a lot better than Charlotte than how it was. LA Galaxy were running all over them that game. 1-0 was a little bit nice on Charlotte's end, but what are you hoping for in this game?
Yeah, I'd really like to see, like we saw it, we beat Motagua 5-0. A few days later, we got shut out against Nashville. I was really hoping to see if we could carry over some of that play, some of that ability to create goal scoring opportunities. Like, I really want to see if we can carry that over from last night's game against Club Leon, where it looked like the Sounders that we've come to know and love, where sharp passing, good on the transition. Coach Schmetzer, Jordan Morris, Freddie Montero, they talked about it after the game. I really want to see how or if that will carry over into this Saturday's game, because this is an important match. Obviously, it's against the LA Galaxy, but like we've said, it's only 2 games. It's a small sample size, but we are at the bottom of the Western Conference standings right now, a very unfamiliar place, a place that I hope we don't get comfortable staying at. So I really want to see how, if the team can find a way to carry over what they were able to do so well last night into the game on Saturday. And I think the question of whether Raul Ruidiaz will be healthy or not, or if Freddie Montero will stay in the lineup, will go away in answering that question.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, we were hoping for a momentum shift from the Sounders after that 5-0 win against Motagua. We didn't see that. We actually saw 2 poor results from the Sounders even after that win. But one thing I'll say that's different about that Motagua win than in this Leon win that we just recently saw was the Motagua win was more of like Motagua making their own mistakes that created our goals. But in this game against Leon, you actually saw you saw the Sounders, you saw what's on paper is what we're supposed to be seeing from this team with this amazing frontline creativity. I mean, we brought in with Albert Rusnak on top of the creativity we already have. So we finally, I think, saw that on display against Leon. That game could have ended 6-0. There was no mistakes by Leon. It was just the Sounders were just the better team on the night. It wasn't that Leon were bad. It was the Sounders were actually outplaying them. And as you said, Montero gets 2 goals. He steps up big. There's no Will Bruin. There's no Raul Ruidiaz. I mean, again, that kind of that excuse going out the window is, I know a lot of people made the excuses, but we didn't play with Raul in our first couple of games. I think it's just more so we just gotta, if we play well, trust me, Freddie or Samuel Adurin will bag goals if they get given the opportunity, which Freddie did. He got a penalty from Christian Roldan winning it, and then he got one opportunity from one cross from Christian Roldan, and he took it as well. Almost got a hat trick, creating that play all on his own. That was vintage Montero almost. If you put that in, that's vintage Montero, and that was something you want to see. And then going into this Galaxy game, that begs the question now, do we want to see Montero start because now he's in form? Or if Raul is fit, should Raul play? That's kind of the discussion now that we got to be thinking about with this Galaxy game, because it is big, because Sounders need to get a goal from open play. They need to win this game because we're at the bottom of the West. I know it's only 2 games in, but we need to break these ducks so we can start moving on and start going up the standings in the West.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Personally, I would like to see, the thing with Raul Ruidiaz is that it's really been a day-by-day thing. In media availability and trainings last week, Coach Schmetzer made a point that we'll want to have Raul ready by Leon, but he wasn't ready by Leon. Originally, we were under the impression that what was going on with Raul wasn't that serious, but he's been gone for a couple of games now. That says to me that it's probably a little more serious than we originally thought it might be. I'm of the mindset that if something is working, if something is flowing, I would like to ask, there were some fans, there were actually a good amount of people out there who were of the mindset that, his best years are behind him or he's past his prime. I am so glad that the team signed him and kept him because I think he's really showing that he deserves to have a spot on this team. Like even in the press conference last night after he scored that brace, he still has that demeanor. He still has that attitude, that confidence of being a top guy on any club. So I'm very inclined to let Fredy Montero keep doing his thing, and we'll see where it takes us. Because that whole excuse, and I guess it depends on how you want to label it, but the way I view it is that if Fredy Montero can score 2 goals against Club Leon in a Champions League game, I don't see why he can't score goals in the regular season match. I don't see why the Sounders can't still play the way they know how to play. So I don't think that it's as simple as Raul and Will Bruin aren't available, so therefore we're going to struggle. I don't think it has to be that cut and dry. I think there's so much depth on this team. So I would let Fredy do his thing and let him start, especially, if Raul isn't ready, then that, completely makes it obvious that it's going to be Fredy. But I would go with Fredy Montero and see what happens after that.
I think some people are forgetting. I know Fredy Montero is a very split guy within the Sounders community, which is something that's bizarre for me. I mean, if people personally know me, Fredy's my favorite Sounder of all time. He's the reason I became a big Seattle Sounders fan. He made me fall in love with this team, and he's very 50-50. People either love him or hate him. I don't totally understand it, especially now we're getting it back. I know he's a lot older and he's not the younger buck that he was, but now this guy has Champions League, Europa League, European football experience pedigree. And you're saying, no, we don't want that as our backup striker. I think any team in MLS would give a tooth and nail to have a player like that just sitting on their bench and is always willing to still play for them, even though he's not a starter. And Fredy, I think ever since he's come back, he's been the right guy for us. I mean, he put up a 7-goal, 7-assist plus season last year. It wasn't even one of our main starters with how well Raul did last season in the goal scoring charts. I think Freddie's proven that he still has a lot in the tank to give. The Leon game gave me a lot of confidence in that. I mean, yeah, as you said, if he can score 2 against Leon, there's no reason he can't do the same thing against other MLS opposition. Some people say Liga MX is way more superior than MLS. So then there you go. If you're based on that logic, then Fredy should be A-okay for these MLS games and against the Galaxy. And we're going up against, big players like Javier Hernandez, Douglas Costa. I mean, the Galaxy are known to bring in those big names, but they've all been playing well. Kevin Cabral, Efren Alvarez, who scored an absolute stunner against Charlotte. They have some big guns. So, and Fredy has historically had a pretty good record against the Galaxy. I mean, you think about his iconic long shot, you think about his volley. This guy knows how to score against the LA Galaxy when it's needed. I mean, what can we see from this team this weekend?
I think there's what my mind thinks and there's what my heart wants, right? I think I will go with what my mind is thinking. I am confident that the Sounders will finally get the 3 points that they really need. Again, it's only been 2 matches, but I feel like sometimes fans and people around the league fail to realize that, and we hope that the Sounders won't have to deal with the issue of being near the red line towards the end of the season. But if they are, every point matters, So it's really important to make the most out of your opportunities. I think we will win this Saturday. I don't think it will be by a scoreline of 2 or 3-0. I think it will be 2-1 because I think the LA Galaxy will find a way to score a goal. But I think the Sounders, hopefully with some confidence built back up from the game last night against Club Leon, I hope that will propel them to at least scoring 2 goals to take the 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, you think with how well they played against Leon. I mean, in the preview that me and Nick did, I said that we'd be lucky to get out of this game with a tie in the Leon game. And I said, my heart wants me to say 3-0 Sounders, 2-3-0 Sounders, but that's not realistic. I don't think that's going to happen. Next thing you know, we could have won last night 6-0. That's how well we played last night. So maybe for once I'll go with what my heart is saying, but what my head is saying is 1-1 tie is written all over this game. That's what I thought about last week. but that Leon game has filled me with a lot of confidence. But maybe that Motagua game was the same thing. But then again, I'm contradicting myself. I think there was a lot better play. There's actually some fluidity. We saw the true Sounders play last night. I'm going to go with a nice 1-0 win for the Seattle Sounders. And I could see Christian Roldan scoring in this game because he's been on absolute smoke these past couple of weeks, in my opinion. I think he played fairly well against Real Salt Lake. Same with Freddie. I think it's going to be a Freddie assist, Christian Roldan goal, 1-0, nice and tidy. We've been keeping our clean sheets in the CCL as well. We haven't conceded a single goal yet, which is another positive to think about. That defense has done well. Yeah, we've conceded 2 goals in MLS, but I mean, the RSL one was a little bit more on the fluky side. So let's continue this nice, tight defensive structure of this 4-back formation. Hopefully we can continue with that in this game against a team that has a lot of firepower. This will be a really true test for the Sounders on Saturday, but I'm going to go with a 1-0 win this weekend. But boys and girls, let us know in the comments down below. What is your guys' score prediction? What are you hoping for in this weekend's game? It's a scary opposition. It's the big juggernaut of MLS, the LA Galaxy, the likes of Chicharito, Douglas Costa, Kevin Cabral, Efrain Alvarez. It's a scary opponent to be playing this weekend, but let us know in the comments down below. What is your guys' thoughts? Make sure to smash the like button on today's video and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I hope you all have a lovely day.